Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar on the fourth module, Course Delivery and Pedagogical Innovation. Before the start, I would like to maybe share some practical information. If you are watching this webinar on your phone, it could be maybe more interesting to have the second device, as we are going to use some WooClap. So you will scan the QR code. That would be more practical for you to work on your computer or have the second device. And the second one, one idea that is always helpful with webinars, try to focus, if it's possible, of course, avoid multitasking, even if it's very tempting on online meetings, but in this way you will get the best of our content. So let's start. I propose to start with the first slide and explain a bit our agenda. First of all, we are going to talk about the work package and overview of each module that we present in Google Classroom. Then I will start with a presentation about the future of education and pedagogical innovation. That will take quite a while. And then Mario Guillo will present already the methodology of the course and assignment. And we will finish with some comments and closing remarks. So if you have some questions, this webinar is also a great chance to ask them. And if not, you can always contact us afterwards. Let's start with the first point, so work package and overview of the module. I leave the word to my colleague, Daniela, that will present you this part.
So I will briefly present the work package 4 with all the different seminars that you will assist. So today we are on the first one, T4.1, Course Delivery and Pedagogical Innovation, and the second one will be Student Life and Support Services, third one, Students Employability, and then we will have the study tour in Belgium, as you did in Spain, and a replication day in each Vietnamese institution. This whole work package is directed by our academic director and dean of the Solvay Brussels School, Catherine Daon, who's not here today as she's giving classes, but she's thinking of us right now. So I will leave the floor to Magda to explain the first module that you will do today, and the most important one for now.
Great, thank you, Daniela. And let's move to some details of our content. Before, just a few words about your trainers. My name is Magdalena Malz, and I work as an academic advisor at ULB and Solvay Brussels School, and as well in the Teaching Support Center. Do we have Cédric Gilon avec us? I see, yes. Cédric, can you say a few words about yourself and Yanael?
Yes, good morning, everyone. So I'm Cédric, and with my colleague Yanael, we are working at the new AI unit here at ULB. And basically, we are coordinating the academic efforts to teach the students on about AI and to try to develop tools to help also those students with these new technologies.
Perfect, thank you, Cédric. And then we've got with us Mario Guillo from Alicante.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mario Guillo. Some of you I recognize some of the names among the participants, so some of you already know me. I'm the project manager for this DIE project at the University of Alicante, and I also teach in the Department of Sociology at the Faculty of Economics, so I have my own experience as a practitioner in digital education. And from the University of Alicante, the trainer that has been developing our materials is Juan Ramón Rico. His background is IT. He belongs to the Polytechnic School of the University of Alicante, but he has developing a long part of his teaching career in the Faculty of Education. So he has both profiles, the IT profile and the educational profile, and that's all.
Thanks a lot, Mario. And finally, of course, we have our dear participants from Vietnamese institutions. So welcome on board, and the road is officially started. Let me begin with some details about the module that you will find in Google Classroom. We've got opening webinar today, and the closing one will happen on the 29th of April. That will be the moment of presentation of assignments. More about that afterwards in Mario's presentation. You've got, of course, the access link with the code. If you have any issues with the access, don't hesitate to contact us. So if we've got 4 modules, I will explain the first 3. The first one is quite important topic on generative artificial intelligence. And Cédric and Yanael presented you the first part, introduction. Cédric, would you like to say a few words about this part?
The idea for this module is to give you a first introduction to what is AI and what is generative AI. During this video, I will present you a few key topics for this subject, and my colleague Yanael will give you a few hands-on videos around tools that are really useful to present all of those technology and to help you understand what is behind those, to better understand their use, their limits, biases that are built inside those models. So we hope to give you an overview and understanding of what is AI with this introduction.
Perfect, thank you very much. And then we have a complementary element on Gen AI, but already in teaching practice in education. We present some interesting statistics on that topic. We touch the subject of challenges, bias, hallucinations, but also practical applications of generative AI in education. And of course, we've got some real cases of creating activities with AI, and also a very important topic of assessments in the age of generative AI. The second module is entitled Innovative Practices in Higher Education, and it has 2 parts. The first one speaks about examples of innovative learning spaces in higher education, where we present some concrete cases of innovative classrooms at ULB, and the focus is the active learning classrooms that we are currently developing at our university. This video will present you advantages but also risks of these new spaces, and we share best practices in case you would like to set up similar spaces in your institution. The third module, and the second point is the survey of on innovative teaching practices in our school. This is the survey that was conducted at Solvay Brussels School from November 2024 till January 2025. So this is a recent topic where we have collected data on teaching assessment methods that are used by our teachers. Very important data that can be explored in different ways, of course, including generative AI, but not only. This part will help you to organize similar projects in your home institution as well. The module 3 is about e-learning principles. The first one talks about fundamentals of e-learning, about its benefits, of course, but as well challenges. We introduced the ADI model. I don't know if you've heard about it. It is the model that is used by many instructional designers, and that explain different stages of structuring effective online learning experiences, and also some practical strategies to build a creative and efficient e-learning content. The second video explains more the parts of webinars, so how to organize an effective webinar for planning, engagement, delivery, many details in it. And the second part is about self-regulation strategies. So we also talk about the learner part, so how to learn effectively in the e-learning era. Then I leave the floor for Mario to say a few words about the fourth module.
The fourth module has a very specific approach. We decided to start from the building blocks of the e-learning in process and focusing on the creation of digital content, specifically on slides, which we understood it as this basic building block of the process. So the approach is the following. We start with the basic principles for creating this type of digital content, how to create engaging slides and for teaching purposes. Then we overview, in the second video, we overview different platforms that allow to create these slides, this type of content, especially those that allow to create the slides with voiceover features. And the third one is the explanation on how to approach that in a more specific and maybe a bit more complex way. The first video and the third video have been developed using the methodology that is explained in the third video. So it's an alternative to those platforms that are explained in the second video. So this is more or less how we structure this module.
Thanks a lot. So this is the overview of the module. Now we can go to the next part that is already the more theoretical, but also with some practical points of today. We will talk about pedagogical innovation and the future, namely future of education. Very interesting topic that is quite, let's say, on hype right now. And you've probably heard some ideas on that, and you've already had some of your own ideas. And let's start with your perspective first. What I welcome you to do right now is to scan the QR code or go to wooklab.com and enter the code that you see on the screen and share your vision on the future of education. So use some simple words or short phrases that describe best your vision, your imagine, how you imagine the education in 10 years, in 20 years. I will show the screen with WooClub already. And we've got already some interesting insights on the topic. Of course, we cannot know what will happen exactly, but we've got already some trends, some tendencies that influence on how we see the education. You can enter a few visions. If you want to add some details, please feel free to do that. I will maybe show the list of the results. We've got no border, personalized the learning for each individual via technological tools. For everyone, inclusive, online, personalized learning, accessible, digital education, digital global, AI-assisted teaching and learning. This I don't know exactly. If you could provide more context, maybe. We have to get that from anywhere, anytime, open, inclusive again, online, autonomy, great, learning and teaching anywhere, digital, personalized again, no border, lifelong. I think that you have had access to my presentation before because I cover exactly that. So I hope I still will teach you something more, but I think we have we share the same vision. Interdisciplinary learning, great. swifted roles of the teacher and students. Very nice. E-learning, offline tutorial, self-educated students, technology integrated, more flexible for all learners. Great. Thank you very much for this very interesting insights. And as I said, my idea, or maybe not mine because it's not my personal opinion, but more data that I found in reports, global classrooms, exactly. As you can see, we've got some shared ideas of online, open, accessible, inclusive, personalized, AI. Those keywords represent exactly the vision, the data that is shared by reports that I'm going to show you today. So let's go back to my presentation, and let's start with the first idea. As you can see, as I've said before, the future of education is not, we cannot predict the future. We don't have a magic ball that will say what will happen in 10 or 20 years. But we've got some data. We've got already some signs that show how the education might evolve. And of course, I didn't ask any fortune teller to see what's in the future. I promise. I consulted some more trustworthy sources, like these reports, for example, of UNESCO, European University Association, or OECD. These reports are explaining exactly how the future of education is being shaped. And what is interesting is to connect these documents with some trends on technology. As you can see, some trends are very recent, one from last month. Of course, they do not talk about education directly. However, everything is connected, and education does not evolve in isolation. So education is connected with how our society shifts, especially the changes that are driven by rapid technological advancement. And what we live right now, the reality that we have around us is that the cutting edge news of new technological inventions already feel outdated the evening of the same day. So the reality changes in exponential way, and the way we teach, the way we learn might evolve as well. And what is also a sign of these changes is the job market. I'm sure you can think of examples of job titles that were popular that are popular today, but weren't really known a decade ago, or didn't exist a decade ago. Of course, you've heard about these job titles: mobile app developer, sustainability manager, cloud computing specialist, cryptocurrency analyst, or TikTok influencer. These titles are already known today, but it wasn't the case a few years ago. So it's all the recent change. And the role of education system is also to prepare the students, the new generations, to face new challenges in this fast changing world. New generations will have to face unpredicted situations and adapt. A very important word, adapt to the changing circumstances. And many of these changes have the source in the progressive digitalization, because the process of the digitalization of education is already the fact. The COVID-19 pandemic significantly accelerated the transition to remote teaching in higher education institutions. It was also a catalyst moment for change. The teachers could test in real life new methods, completely new methods, new tools. And they were, of course, not new methods, but the usage was widespread during a pandemic in a large scale. And that has left its impact on nowadays education. We came back to classrooms, but the teaching methods are today more easily translated into digital formats. And also students require more often blended, hybrid, online learning formats that would be complementary to the in-class teaching formats. And this tendency seems to evolve. Let's have a look at some statistics. These are statistics prepared by European University Association survey from last year, from 2023, that shows the increase of 2023 and pre-COVID tendencies in education. As you can see, blended online hybrid teaching formats are much more high than pre-COVID situation. So this is the fact. We've got this trend already visible and translated into concrete data. And we talked about pandemics. Today, the new disruptive event is, of course, the apparition of AI, so artificial intelligence. And we cover this subject in our first module. You will find many interesting insights in it, but just a few words on that, because you cannot talk about the future of education, especially the nearest future, and not talk about Gen AI. Generative AI, in many cases today, it's like an elephant in the room that we already know it is there, but many of us keep ignoring the fact that it has an impact on our daily life of educators and learners. By the way, the image was also created with ChatGPT. The Digital Education Council survey indicated that up to 88% of faculty teachers declared minimal to moderate AI usage in teaching. So as you can see, the AI is there, students use it, but in today's situation, teachers are only beginning to incorporate these tools into their teaching practice. However, another survey shows that 86% of the teachers in higher institutions, higher education institutions, see themselves using AI in teaching in the future. So this trend has all the chances to be developed. Then the third statistics shows also that about 84% of teachers believe that they have a clear understanding of the various changes AI could bring to their jobs. So, by the way, the short spoiler, we will teach you in the second module how to prepare such surveys, how to measure the temperature in your own faculty or institution. But these statistics show clearly that we do not, as teachers, we do not use it in a full scale, these tools, but the consciousness, awareness of the impact of these tools is already in the room. AI tools have already a very important impact on students' or learning way. They act as personal tutors that are available 24 hours a day. They assist students with their academic assignments, sometimes in legal, sometimes less legal way. They provide immediate feedback. It definitely shapes the way students search, but also acquire new knowledge. And the step further is the era of agentic AI systems. So these systems don't follow our prompts, don't follow our commands. They discover opportunities, they set their own goals, they execute complex decisions without human control. So all that in autonomous manner. The risks, of course, are there. These tools are not perfect. We talk about misinformation, deepfakes, hallucinations, bias, and of course, we need to have consciousness of the limits as well. And we've got also researches that prove that AI can diminish our cognitive skills. It is never enough to repeat that. Teachers need to understand when to use AI in their teaching and also have the conscious decision if they want to use AI in their teaching process. And we need to be honest about the limitations of this. And of course, a big part of regulations. Not all of the institutions have cleared their perspective, official perspective. We need regulations on local, national, international level. You will find more information on this topic, so I won't prolong this part anymore. We talk about AI a lot, but then in a conference about technology and education, someone said that simulations are AI of tomorrow. XR, it stands for extended reality. You've probably heard about the solutions of augmented reality, so AR, or VR, virtual reality. These solutions use immersive simulations. Students can learn in realistic virtual environments that can improve retention and also in certain cases also reduce training costs. These aren't new tools. For example, VR was used in the field of psychology already decades ago. And these tools can change the perspective and can make the topic much better understood and much better lived by students. Imagine that students can feel the same as the refugee that needs to flee the country in the life-threatening conditions. Or another example where medicine students can practice difficult procedures before operating in real life. We can imagine that VR headsets represent a significant cost for the faculties. Of course it does, but the trend is that these tools become much cheaper. Of course, we have those that become more expensive, but at the same time, the market offers much more affordable solutions. And the technology, of course, evolves, and we've got better displays, lighter solutions, and this feeling of dizziness by using these tools become less frequent. A lot of risks here as well. We can think of the way how these tools can measure the students, the people, body signals. They sometimes can define better the profile of a person than a biologist via DNA analysis. They measure students' emotional reactions by sensors that are incorporated in these tools, and we do not know what happens afterwards with this data. And of course, VR is not, or AR is not always beneficial for the education. We know exactly where to use it. There is a lot of research on the topic, and we need to again define clearly the pedagogical objective, justify the use of these tools, because if not, the students will remember the technology, but they won't really remember what they have learned. Industrial logics are not always aligned with those of the world of education. So we also need to keep our critical vision, critical perspectives on these developments, and sometimes also question the existence of these tools in the classroom. So it's always good to have enthusiasm, but at the same time, consciousness. And another topic is that despite the fact that the students are immersed in digital world, we already know that sometimes they struggle with simple digital tools as Moodle or other platforms at the university. So digital literacy for students and teachers is also the topic to be concerned. I will go one step further in technological development. I don't know if you've heard about living intelligence. This is one of the technological advancements that can impact our education tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. What is exactly living intelligence? It integrates artificial intelligence, sensors, and biotechnology to create systems that can think, can adapt, and evolve in the ways that surpasses our understanding. Maybe you've heard about brain-computer interface. These are brain-reading devices that allow, for example, paralyzed people to talk using their thoughts or manipulate physical objects. So, of course, this is not something that is very popular nowadays, but it shows how the technological advancements improve. I would like to ask if you know what is this device. Please write in the chat if you have an idea what is it for. Maybe you've seen this image before. What do you think? What would be the function of this tool? Any ideas are welcome. If you haven't seen, you can write also in the chat that you haven't seen it. I would like to get some feedback. Okay, no clue. You can also think of the usage of that. Okay, oscillograph. I have no idea what is it, Jean-Baptiste, but completely strange indeed. Relating to brain, yeah, absolutely. Even if it doesn't look like, it does use brain cells, exactly, great. We have had some people that have a better clue. But I have seen this image for the first time a week ago, exactly, no, on Sunday, actually. Cortical lab, okay. Thanks a lot for your feedback. This is a device that is using indeed brain cells. This is the world's first computer powered by human brain cells. So this is the computer that uses biological molecules like DNA and cells to store and process information. So of course, these are not the real brain cells. These are cells that are grown in the laboratory, and they're grown on a chip, and then they receive and send electrical signals into the neural structure. How big is it? Good idea. I haven't seen it for real. Now I feel like it. A good question. I will check it out just afterwards. Maybe someone will check in the meantime and provide them information. Of course, we do not see, at least not yet, the impact of such devices today in the education. It's not the point to show the direct connection between education or not, but we talk so much nowadays about AI, but this is also to show that technological advancements go really fast, and another disruptive event can be just around the corner. And of course, these devices might stay or might not stay with us tomorrow. Thank you for the name. Exactly, this is the name of the computer. Let's go right now to the next point, and maybe to the nearest future of education than these devices. And let's go back for a while to the AI reality, but a little bit farther. So let's imagine that AI will replace most of the tasks that teachers do nowadays. If you could scan again the QR code of the WOOC Lab and share your ideas, what will be left for humans? So imagine that AI can do anything, grade the students' work, provide the feedback, develop lesson plans, it already does, track the students' progress, deliver personalized instruction. Think about any tasks of everyday teacher job, and AI is already able to do it, and do it really well in the future. And if the teacher is not replaced, what would be the role of the human element? By the way, I've asked ChatGPT recently, what do they envy the humans? So what they are not capable of doing, and they said that, of course, the feeling, but also they find the meaning in absurd. So you got really also interesting indeed. The colleague said it's not capable to do the Monty Python yet, at least. I will show the results again in the list that will be maybe more legible. Critical thinking skills, writing. With writing, I'm not sure, but of course we've got also writing and writing, right? Feeling and emotion, interpersonal skills, emotional support, human presence, human touch, right? Facilitation, humanity, lab work, assessment. human heart, inspired students, emotion, critical thinking, communication, interpersonal skills. A world where AI can teach knowledge, the teacher's irreplaceable role will be to teach humanity. Very nice. Digital skill, of course, how to use those devices. Pedagogy, yeah. Much deeper than technology, right? Inspiration, sympathy, technical skills, of course. Unless AI will also teach the technical skills itself, but the way it teaches, it's different, of course. Coaching, advisor, critical thinking, again, emotional intelligence, empathy, curriculum designers, emotional connection, human interaction, validating information. So from one point, we've got critical thinking, but also validating, right, what is correct and what is not. Perfect. Thank you very much for your ideas. And there are, of course, no good or wrong answers here. Let's go back to the presentation. And as you've mentioned, maybe the role of the teacher will be creating new challenges, opportunities, motivating students, being the the inspirational person. And as you can feel, ChatGPT won't motivate in the same way as human. There is nothing better than the human motivator. Spending more time on things that matter, where all of the administrative part will be done. Maybe the teacher will be able to focus on what really matters, coaching, helping to overcome obstacles, teaching how to learn effectively, etc. And of course, always maybe. We do not know the future again, but we can already imagine and implement some of the ideas, because AI is with us, and in some cases, it already can replace some of the teachers' tasks. As we can read in the UNESCO report, pedagogy is relational. Both teachers and learners are transformed through the pedagogical encounter as they learn from each other. And this can be done but also without technological advancements. We can also take note on the fact that it's not for granted that students know how to collaborate. And one of the negative consequences of digitalization is growing isolation, lack of social skills, and school might offer them the chance to enter in dialogue with the peers, being confronted with different opinions that are not controlled by algorithms, or create, as someone said also in WooClub before, create interdisciplinary encounters to see the other perspective that is not controlled by technology. In collaborative settings, teachers and students can form a community of knowledge seekers. So not only students learn, but also teachers learn from their students. And the new generations, they require more active learning methods, not only absorbing the knowledge from the teacher, but also participate in this process actively. And our yearly survey at the university level proves that fact, that students want to be more active. They want to be present also as an actor in the learning process. And however, the spaces in the university or other higher education institution does not reflect that yet in the scale that we could expect. Many of the spaces like that are still present, and when you try to search for images of a classroom, you still get most of the images that reflect the same 19th century disposition, and sometimes maybe with more comfortable chairs, but still this is almost most of the reality nowadays. And you've got a topic on that on the module 2, so I won't explain too much, but you will see a few examples of places that help the collaborative activities that do not require constant moving the chairs and tables, that everything is ready for the collaborative activities. And as you can see here, the teacher position is different. It is not accentuated. It is not the main person in the room, but this is much more blended, much more blurred borders between who is the learner and who is the teacher. So the students can become also the educators here. And of course, that guides us to the next point. The teacher role evolves. He becomes or she becomes a mentor, tutor that accompanies the learner, gives the opportunity to explore, create, and interact with new concepts. So this is a person that can nurture curiosity and interest of the students. In addition to practical knowledge and experience, teachers might also need some management skills to be able to provide good feedback, constructive feedback, and not only grades, but also this human connection and personalized feedback about the further work or effort they need to put to evolve. So we need to start reviewing the training systems as well, not only of the students, but also training systems of teachers themselves. If the role of the teacher evolves, of course, the student position becomes more central. The traditional transmissive methods might not always be convincing for the future generations, as they have the information available anytime and anywhere. So according to many students, the knowledge should be largely practical, condensed, and available online. So that they can become active agents in their own learning journey. We also can observe among the young and growing culture of self-directed learning, characterized by flexible approach to learning and freedom in designing the educational path. And this is why also we give you the choice to choose the assignment that you find more suitable for you, but this part Mario will talk about a bit later. We've got personalized education. So students take control over what they want to learn, where they want to learn, and as a result, the border between formal and informal education become much more blurred. So here we've got the situation where informal education is not imposing this rigid framework, and many times also combine the learning with fun and entertainment. So this is a lot of competency, a lot of challenge for the formal education that is confronted with this vague of online courses that do not mimic the same teaching role as in the formal education. What influences personalized, or sometimes we call it hyper-personalized education? We live in a culture of nanoseconds, where we can also transform the famous FOMO, so fear of missing out, to the FOMA, so fear of missing anything. Everything changes in a second. We expect everything to be instant, to be tailored to our preferences. Even if we are in the lift, we tend to push the button to close the door much quicker than the automatic system. And we want also the instant access to the knowledge, to the products, information, and services. But also it goes with the data. So we, as a person, we are an excellent source of data. We know it very well. Our phones know much more sometimes than our family members. The new devices can analyze our facial expressions, our body language, voice patterns, and this data is used to tailor activities, tailor information that we receive. And also this fact has an impact on expectations of education system. This trend is accelerated by many platforms as Udemy, Khan Academy, Coursera, or Masterclass you've probably heard of. And in these platforms, within a few clicks, you can have access to a perfect tailored course that is well designed, and we need it at some point of our education or career transformation. And this flexibility in terms of personalized education also translates in some non-degree credits or shorter learning formats that complement full degrees programs at the university. So that also what we can see is much more flexibility in terms of choice of optional courses or some shorter learning formats, certifications. As we can see in the statistics prepared by European University Association, does your institution offer non-degree programs or courses? So we talk about learning certificates, badges, or micro-credentials. As you can see, the vast majority, 70% of the institutions do offer such complementary certifications, and 21 plan to do it in the future. As the same report suggests that if this trend persists and institutions keep diversifying their offer, we can also sometimes dare to ask that if the traditional default standard of diploma will remain, and maybe in the future we will introduce another alternative model to that. We do not know, of course. In any case, we slowly start to understand that learning is not only a part of university, of our formal education, and this is the lifelong learning path of gaining knowledge, experience throughout our life. And again, we need to have the balance. There is always the risk of personalization, and we can also imagine scenario that students that are removed from public and collective spaces, relationships, they can also suffer some negative consequences. That here might be the real role of the education to avoid this risk. This human complement to counterbalance the impact of technology, of growing automation systems that employ AI and provide ready-made, personalized, perfect, tailored course, might be also missing some of the values as empathy, ethics, solidarity, or collaboration, which needs to be taught sometimes patiently, sometimes over the effort. And for that, we have no technological shortcuts. So these are deeply human acts that can be facilitated today. Now we've got another element that I would like to ask you, but this time we can use the chat to make it more comfortable. In this scenario that I've just presented to you, what do you think, what will be the skills that teachers should show to their students? And what skills shall we have in order to confront these future possible scenarios, to thrive and to better adapt to the new circumstances? So what do you think would be the skills of tomorrow with the technological advancements that are possible, are not taken for granted, but you can write in chat the skills that we can start teaching already today to our students. I think you've mentioned some of them in WOOC Lab before. Adaptability, great. Someone said also that the future is not known, but that is one of the skills that can help to, we have no choice, yeah. Self-study, right? So here we talk about self-regulation strategies, what that we explain, by the way, in the module, the third module, the second video, great. So if we talk about self-study, we also talk about awareness of our own strengths and needs and how to learn effectively. Any other ideas? How can we prepare our students to better thrive in the future. Critical thinking, great. Yeah. Stress release. Yeah, that's a very human role. Very nice example. So emotional responses, how to get to know ourselves, how to also teach those soft skills, right? That are not always present in our curriculum. Okay, I will present you some more examples that are based on the OECD Learning Compass 2030. So by the way, it's already in 5 years, so the future is now, I can say. We've got 3 categories of the skills of tomorrow that are present in this report: cognitive and metacognitive skills, such as you mentioned as well, critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, learning to learn, this is what you've written as well, and self-regulation. Of course, the list is not completed. These are only examples. Social and emotional skills such as empathy, self-awareness, self-efficacy, responsibility, collaboration. As you can observe, students do not know always how to collaborate with others. So they also need a kind of mentor and of someone who could teach them the rules to make it in a peaceful way. Physical and practical. In this case, it would mean using new information and communication technology devices. That was also something that you have mentioned before, and students are not always aware of how to use them in an efficient way. All that influence also the way how the students feel the strength to confront the future, to adapt better to the future circumstances. And we talk here about this sense of agency in the learner. This is also the concept that is present in this report. Agency implies a sense of responsibility to participate in the world and influence people, events, and circumstances for the better. So this is the feeling of the yes, I can influence my future. Yes, I can learn efficiently, and having this strength of approaching new challenges in an efficient way, knowing how to state clear objectives, determine the steps needed to reach the goal. And again, that implies self-regulating skills that are developed in the module. So as you can see, we've got a lot of challenges in the future. The educational systems need to adapt to the uncertain future. We can summarize this presentation with 10 challenges that also mimic the elements that we've just discussed. I will base myself on the In Future Institute team that has presented such a selection. Of course, it's not complete list, but it already gives us a glimpse of the situation. So accessing up-to-date and relevant information instead of archaic, sometimes unnecessary ones that quickly become outdated in the world where knowledge is available instantly. Motivating learners and bringing them also the feeling of passion, enthusiasm for learning, bringing them the encouragement rather than forcing them to learn. Again, define the position of the learner and also in the context of lifelong learning trend, how to learn effectively and also how to learn throughout our life. Then we have the subject of knowledge that is applicable to real life, that we can apply and find out the solutions for the real problems. And again, we've got the skill of problem solving. Personalized approach, so that is the system that is adapted to the educational needs of the students, diverse motivation, different way of learning. And as you've mentioned, soft skills that also bring the awareness of the strengths and needs of every student, building this awareness of the motivations, of the emotions and reactions. New technologies and solutions. So we've got the task of building digital competencies among teachers, but also among students, sparking interests, increasing passion and engagement, not limiting the passion by the quantity of material that we have to accomplish, but bringing more open motivation. Genuine relationships, that was also covered, between the students, but also between the teacher and the student. So building the trust and also preventing exclusions or feeling of loneliness. And effective assessment. So building skillful, valuable, constructive feedback, learning from mistakes rather than limiting our assessments to simple notes. A lot of things to do before, but we've got already excellent examples of educators that have started this strategy building throughout the years. And what I want to finish with is that the future begins today, and we can also shape it the way we want. We are the future, and the future begins with us. Thank you so much for your attention. After this long theoretical and practical way, we can move now to the next point. Of course, you've got the list of all of the reports that I've been using. They contain lots of interesting information that can bring our awareness and consciousness of the future today. Now I pass the word to Mario, that will present you the methodology of the course and, very important part, the assignments. Mario, I stop sharing my screen.
Perfect, thank you very much. It doesn't allow me to present for some reason. It says presenting is not available in this version of Meet. Go to the full version to share your screen. Okay, let me check.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for a very comprehensive presentation and introduction to the course. You highlighted just now. It's yeah. Okay. So I can see you at the same time. So you describe a very challenging context, complex and challenging context that we need to face in the future as an educators. And I would like to start by saying that this is just a first step. This course is not meant to give all the answers to the question that Magdalena was raising here, but I think that these 4 modules can help you to start making questions, start wondering yourself in which situation are you related to the topics that we are interested to discuss with you in this or the practices that we are interested to show you in the context of this course. So please don't look for all the answers in this course, but I'm sure that at least it will serve the purpose of start creating your own path in this challenge that Magdalena was showing to us in this presentation. So as she said, I'm going to explain how we are going to work in the course. She already talked about in a nutshell. We have been introducing some of the contents of the course and the logic that we are trying to use, but now I'm going into the details of it. First of all, the title of the course has been already stated in some of the slides. You know also that this is the starting session. and we expect to end the course by the end of April, on the 29th, on Tuesday, on the same schedule, on the same time that of today. I will come back to that later. The whole course will be a self-taught course using Google Classrooms. You have different modules, you have different learning content that you will be interacting with, and you are meant to follow your own path in this course and creating your own groups in order to start your discussion. The duration, the expected duration is 20 hours, and you can access via this link or using this code. I guess at this point you all have access to Classroom. If you don't have it, we can come back to this at the end of this presentation. So the objectives we have been already talking about. What we are meant to create is with this initiative, with this course. We have developed specific objectives for each of the modules that we are offering in the context of this online course. These objectives are also connected to the assignments that we are proposing you to complete the course. And we have two synchronous modules, which are the sessions. The first one is the session that we are having today, the introduction to the course, and we expect to have another one by the end of the course, which is meant to be the final session with the presentations of your assignments. Okay, from those presentations, we will have final discussions, final comments on the outputs that we got of this course. Then you have 4 asynchronous modules, which are the modules that were mentioned by Magdalena in the first part of this session. These 4 modules, the totality of the modules have 3-hour video recordings with explanation and showcases. And to complete the 20 hours, we foresee that you will need like 13 hours of autonomous work, and working with your teams in the assignments that I will be introducing later. As I also said that we are following the same schedule for the next session. So this session we started at 3 p.m. Vietnam time, and we expect to have the closing webinar at 3 p.m. Vietnam time on the April 29th. So for the 4 asynchronous modules, as I said, there is 3 hours of recording video, 13 hours of autonomous learning, and we already talked about the content. So I can skip this part. We already talked about the content in the first presentation. So what the combination is, of course, synchronous and asynchronous sessions, and with the hours that I was mentioning before, and we expect to follow doing as a teacher. We expect to do the follow-up of your evolution in the course only via on demand. We are not forcing you to have any session, any mandatory sessions with us, but we will be available for you in the platform. Just you will need to ask for any kind of consultation or tutorial with either Magdalena or myself. I will be available for this consultation during the first week of the course, and Magdalena will be available in the next 2 weeks of the course, excluding the days that she mentions it has been mentioned in the slide. So during this week, during the first week, you can reach me via email or via the platform, and the same with Magdalena for the next weeks. When I mean the platform, I mean using the comments that you can see in this screenshot. On the bottom of the screenshot, you can see a field in which you are able to write any comment. If you tag me in your comment, I will receive an email, a notification, and I will come right away to the platform to check if there is something. If you don't use, please use mentions, because if you don't use mentions, okay, I will be checking from time to time if there is something on the platform, but if you want a rapid response, my recommendation is please use mentions in order to allow me to have this notification. I use also this slide because in this slide you will see what I'm going to explain in the next one. Sorry, this screenshot, because you will be able to see what I'm going to explain in the next slide. These are the assignment choices that we are opening to you. During the closing remarks, sorry. Today I woke up with my throat with little pain. Sorry for that. As I said before, during the closing webinar, you are expected to present your work as a team, as an institution, but you are not required to respond every assignment that we are offering to you. There are 5 different types of assignments, and you need to choose at least one of them, depending on your interest or the position, not the position, but the situation of your institution. You will be more interested in one or another assignment. And as I said, different assignments are related to the topics that we are raising in each of the modules. So this is more, the assignments are in a way presented as an excuse for you to start making questions, to start wondering yourself, okay, which is in this one, which is my situation, the situation of my institution regarding the inclusion of artificial intelligence in education, how we are using as an institution, how we embrace this new challenge in our institution. So then we have another one talking about how we are adapting as an institution to the future of education, all the challenges that Magdalena was mentioning in the previous session. Here we are expecting you to identify key developments in the future. Magdalena already mentioned some of them, and the ideal way to approach that will be discussing the different strategies your university is implementing at the moment, or is different actors of the university are starting to discuss. Maybe you don't have a strategy yet, but you have the worry about it, and there are some discussion. Maybe this is a first step to start a real discussion and to develop a real strategy for facing those challenges. Then this is, in my opinion, a more open assignment in which you can take any of the topics, specific topics of the course, and starting the same type of discussion, the same type of reflection on which are the topics that from the course, the whole course, that are more interesting, more relevant to the current situation of my institution, my department, my faculty, or myself as an individual, and start to create strategies, to outline strategies for implementing those strategies. There is a fourth option, which is how can we exploring how are we using different digital tools in e-learning environments and at my institution or at personal level. And the idea here is that you will be sharing with us at the end of the course experiences, strategies, case studies highlighting the most impactful innovations in your opinion, or the innovations that could create more impact at your institution. The final one is trying to adapt the survey that Magdalena will be introducing in the second module, and how this survey, adapting the survey to the current situation of your institution, and coming up with a plan for implementing this survey inside your institution. So these are the 5 options you have for choosing at least one assignment. If there is one group in one of the institution taking part in this course, you can go for 2, you can go for 3. We don't want to cut your wings. We want you to fly, but be realistic. If you don't have time for going for 2, 3, 4 assignments, just focus on the one that you consider is more relevant for you, and with one assignment will be okay to complete the course. So how we are going to organize this part? If there is an unbalanced situation in the number of participants in the course from each institution, so what we want to offer to you, to present to you, is a solution to this situation. We expect to have at least one assignment from the 5 options that I already presented. This assignment should be developed per groups from 3 to 5. This is a random number that we decided, taking into consideration the experience from previous courses. The thing is that in this course we have institutions from the number that you can see participants in this session. We have institutions with 10, 15 participants right now, so maybe this number might be a little bit higher. If you need to increase the number of the people that is working at your institution, it's fine for us, but just let us know, okay? Not everybody, another point, not everybody enrolled in the course has to join the institutional group, meaning that, for instance, there is you are a teacher that are interested in the topic, and you are interested in taking the course, following the different modules, and you decide that, okay, I'm not working with I don't have the institutional approach. I prefer to take that more as an individual level, the discussions at the individual level. So in that case, you don't need to present your work in the final session. Just let us know that you are working at as individual level, and we can make these consultations with you the same way that to the institutional groups. Okay, so the answer, I mean, what I'm stating here is that as an individual, you are also able to follow the course. You don't need to join any group, and but the only thing for you is that you won't be presenting during the final session, but you can present to us the pictures. Another thing to take into consideration for the assignments. Well, you will need to upload the presentation to a designated folder that will be made accessible via Google Classroom, and this folder will be also available, only available for the participants in the institutional groups. So we will assign folders to each institution. And the time that you will have for this final presentation is 10 minutes. Okay, we are 10 institutions, so we will have 10 minutes. We think we will have enough for everybody, and to have some final comments, final reflections. So I included these slides, but I think you already know where Classroom is because you are here. So this means that you have been accessing this session via Classroom. This is the look of our course. If you join the previous course online, maybe you might have also the 3.5 with the that we ran in the last year, and not last year, the previous months. And one thing that I wanted to mention here is that in the presentation module, there is already this. I uploaded this presentation, so you will have these materials. If you didn't take all the notes from everything that I was mentioning, you will have all the details of the due dates, all the explanation about the methodology, and for the assignments, you will have the slides, but there is another document that explains more in detail the particularities of each of the assignments. Okay. So from my side, that's all from the methodology point of view. If you have, I don't know if Magdalena, do we have any other presentation, or it's time for the questions, for the comments?
Thanks a lot, Mario, for this excellent explanation, very detailed. Now this is the moment of asking questions. If you have any further doubts or any specific queries, don't hesitate to take the mic or write it on the chat. Of course, some of the questions might appear during the process of learning, so don't hesitate to contact us in the meantime. Mario has set the exact dates of who of us is available, and of course for the consultation as well. If you need any further guidelines on specific subjects, we are here to help. You will find a document with the assignment list in the Google Classroom, and also each assignment has detailed questions that can detail the subject for you, so that it can guide you with fulfilling the ideas from your point of view. Are there any specific questions, anything to be cleared out again? In the meantime, I will leave you the link to the size of the brain computer that I promised. I just Googled it in the meantime. So basically it's just twice as long as the laptop. So it's not a big device, by the way. I was keeping in mind the question, but again, this is a new thing. We don't know how long it is going to stay with us.
Just, Magda, if I can, I'm sharing now my screen just to show where I was mentioning that in the presentation. This is the interface of the classroom. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. So here there is a short text of presentation, just talking about the same principles, the same philosophy that we have been introducing during this session. Here you have the document that Magdalena was mentioning about the different specifics of each of the assignments, with different questions that you might need to question yourself, to wonder yourself, and these are the points that will help you to structure each of the assignments. And here you have I don't know why it's not possible to access this one, but it is the module in which I included. This is the material. This is the presentation that I just uploaded to Google Classroom. For some reason, it's not possible to open it. I don't know if for you is the same. Can you open this?
I will check.
Can you access this?
Yeah. Just give me a moment.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So here you have the presentation that I just introduced with the methodology. And there you have, right now, all the modules are open, so you can follow. I mean, we structure the course in a in a logical way, but if you want to jump from one place to another, you are free to use it, but our recommendation is to follow module by module. Okay. So, well, nothing else from my side. Just wanted to show the platform.
Right, that was very useful indeed to show the classroom in real form. Can you confirm on the chat maybe if you have the access to the classroom? Just it's enough to say yes to the chat that we are sure that you already have you can see the material online. You can write yes, not yet, or okay, perfect. We've got positive. Okay. This is the most important. Yeah. Okay, there is one person that cannot access the Google Classroom, so please contact us so that we can resolve the issue. Okay, but majority has the access. Jean-Baptiste.
Yeah, I know that some people have challenges to access the platform. My suggestion is to use personal accounts. Gmail accounts work perfectly fine. Sometimes it's due to institutional accounts when you try to access this Google Classroom. But it should work perfectly fine with other accounts.
Perfect. Thanks a lot for the clarification. Use personal email, it will work. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. I think we can wrap up already, not to prolong. Also, one of the rules of webinars is that our attention possibility is quite limited for longer periods. So I think it's a right time also after a lot of a big package of knowledge and new information for you. We can leave you to digest all of the information, also already access the module. As you can see, all of the material is already ready. You can use your self-regulation strategies and divide the work as it feels best for you. Define the time that is most suitable and also pleasant. So please enjoy the way. This is very important. Sometimes we have different ways to approach the material, or we do everything from the start, one day, 24 hours, but maybe it's also good to enjoy the way and divide the material that suits you best. Daniela, Jean-Baptiste, if you don't, Mario, if you have still something to add, please feel free. If not,
just maybe to add that we are very happy that we have such a huge audience. It's a big number, and I can see that there is a lot of expectations about this course. And just as Magdalena was said, enjoy the course. We are here for answer any questions you may have. You will be welcome anytime with your suggestion comments. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and see you very soon. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Goodbye.